All summer long, Big 3 on CBS in downtown Providence, Rhode Island. Game 2 of 3, Aliens versus Enemies. With Michael Rappaport, Brendan Haywood, Carter Blackburn. You knew when Gilbert Arenas joined Big 3, he was going to make his presence known. Starting to find a flow, which is good news for the Enemies.
Well, it's great for Gilbert Arenas to find this flow. I played with Gilbert, obviously, many years in D.C., and when he gets hot, there's no turning it off. The guy is self-proclaimed hibachi. When the hibachi grill gets cooking, watch out.
And the hibachi is starting to get lit right now.
Hey,
in fact,
there's
Gilbert's
my guy.
coming over to say hi to Brendan as we take a look at our State Farm rosters. Great, Gilbert. Have fun today. Gilbert Arenas, captain of Rick Mahorn's Enemies, but it is turning into a Big 3 for the Enemies, a major challenge for Greg Oden and the Aliens. Yet this is becoming a Big 3 in the Big 3 for the Enemies.
Oh, yeah, and when you look at the versatility, Craig Smith obviously getting it done. Big fella has touch, but he has the girth inside. Then you know you have Royce White, super talented. He can get it done all over the court. And last but not least, you have the hibachi, Gilbert Arenas himself. He can get absolute hot, red hot from 3.
And the Aliens have a big presence in the middle of their own, and he is with Michael Rappaport.
All right, unprecedented access with Greg Oden. Greg, last week you went viral for tossing around the white mamba, Brian Scalabrine, like a little baby boy. Talk about that.
No, it was fun. It was just competition. You know, that's old school basketball. That's how I learned. If they playing up against you, the elbow's supposed to keep them away.
No, I liked it. I like throwing them around. I wish I could do that myself. Now, today, you guys got a matchup on your hands. They have some big bodies. They got Royce. They got Hibachi. What are you guys going to do to get this win today?
Just keep on playing good basketball. Make sure the right matchups, somebody takes advantage of it, and hopefully make some shots.
All right, well, good luck. Glad to see you back out on the floor, Greg Oden.
Aliens 1-2 this year. Rick Mahorn's Enemies are 2-1. Won that NBA championship with the Pistons. Won a Big 3 title. Inaugural year 2017 with Trilogy. Now coaching the Enemies. And a Hall of Famer head coach of the Aliens, Nate Tiny Archibald, from the Bronx to UTEP to a 15-year NBA career, including the 1981 NBA championship with the Celtics. So a homecoming to New England for Nate Tiny Archibald as well.
The legend.
The legend. I mean, legend of all legends on the streets of New York City, and then NBA and beyond, and now coaching the Big 3.
Oh, yeah. And I love the fact that you have such a blend and mix of guys. You have some guys that just recently left the NBA, but then you have some guys that have been out for a while, like Cuttino Mobley. And then at the same time, you have these legendary head coaches. And when you talk about Nate Tiny Archibald, he is definitely one of the biggest legends that we have in this game.
So one of the wrinkles, home team gets the ball first, and there's another steal. It begins with defense. And how about Brandon Rush pokes it away to give the Aliens an early, easy bucket.
And it looks like early on, Greg Oden is going to give Craig Smith those early jumpers. We're going to see how that works out because Craig Smith can shoot that ball from out there.
Andre Owens off the bounce, takes it right at Agent Zero. Gilbert Arenas up to the defensive test.
Surprisingly good defense by Gilbert. I wish he would have played that good defense when I played with him.
And now Gilbert eyes it, misses it. But yeah, no question that that was an early test by Andre Owens, and now into the post. Greg Oden. Oden backs in. Floater missed. Arenas back up with it for 2.
And when you watch Greg Oden, I want you to pay attention to the position battle. And what I mean by position, I mean the positioning on the court. If Greg Oden's allowed to get 1 foot in that lane, he's going to jump hook you to death. But if you can keep him out of that lane, then it is advantage defense.
Got 6'8" Royce White trying to bang with Greg Oden right now. There's Arenas, he takes a pop, so it's going to be Andre Owens and Gilbert Arenas testing each other. Owens' 3rd season in the Big 3.
And I'm interested to see early on where the Enemies are going to go for their offense. Are they going to keep trying to play one-on-one? Are they going to try to put Greg Oden in the pick and roll? You know, there's a lot of different things that they can do.
Howard gets a win in Game 1 to get back to 3-1. Last year's chance. Triplets and killer threes. Both in action tomorrow, undefeated right now in Big 3 competition. Aliens come in at 1-2. First season in the Big 3. There's Royce White, who has been terrific for the Enemies.
And that's a nice, strong move right there because he went right into the chest of Greg Oden. caught that ball, didn't have a lot of space, but he created the space with the slight bump.
10 assists last week for Royce White. Leads the league in assists. Oden nearly walked, gives it up. White, kick out, Arenas. Hibachi draws a foul on Andre Owens.
And you see Royce White right here. Great pass from Gilbert. Royce going right into the shot blocker, Greg Oden's chest, and then he goes with a nice hook off the glass. That's what you have to do. That little bump to Greg Oden's chest was why he was able to get that shot off, because now you take away his shot blocking ability. Craig Smith right now 0 for 3 from 3. And Greg Oden is content to give him that shot, so it'll be interesting to see, can Craig Smith get hot?
Owens gets a little help, missed a 2, gets his own rebound.
We know this guy can get hot.
Follow from Oden. I mean, that is unopposed on the offensive glass for Greg Oden.
Yeah, that one kind of bounced right to him. Greg Oden just taking advantage of the size. You know, they say you can't teach height.
You had a few of those buckets, right?
Oh, I made my living off garbage, but I made my living off garbage baskets like that.
Literally.
And Craig Smith will not be shy from 3 at all. That's his 4th one. Finally gets one to go, but looks like Craig Smith is going to try to exploit the fact that Greg Oden does not want to come out of the paint at all.
Back into Oden. Foul called. Is it on White? Yes, it is. So, I mean, that is a difficult matchup.
Yeah. And you see right here, look at how much space, how much time Craig Smith has to get the shot off. That's almost a no contest by Greg Oden. So if Craig Smith's able to knock down a couple of those, then you pull the big fella out of the lane. And once you pull the big fella out of the lane, then the enemies can start driving and really attack.
It's getting frustrating right now for Royce White. I mean, that is literally a tall task dealing with Greg Oden.
Yeah, and Greg Oden's a big that knows how to play big. He's not trying to float around on the perimeter. He's trying to go inside and take advantage. And now we see him once again with the size advantage against Craig Smith. So it's definitely a battle inside, and Greg Oden right now looking like he's getting the better of it.
I mean, if you get that kind of position, and I mean, Craig Smith is going to do his best, but it's 6'7". What else can you do?
There's nothing you really can do. And I told you at the beginning of the game, it's all about the battle for position. If Greg Oden has a foot in the paint, you're already dead. If you can keep him a step or 2 out, then you have a chance to do some work.
Harry Jones screens. There's Smith. He passes on the 3 and takes it right at Oden this time. Foul on the stick, back foul somewhere in there.
Craig Smith with a nice take right here. Here's Oden once again. The foot's in the lane. Quick little bump off on Craig, shoots right over the top of him. And that's what you're supposed to do. Make the game simple. Make it easy. It doesn't have to be a battle royal down in that block every time. Sometimes you go as far as you need to go and you just shoot over the small defender.
So how does Greg Oden look to you physically? I mean, that's obviously always been the #1 question for the former #1 pick.
Physically, he looks good. He looks like he's in shape. He's strong. He's powerful. He's making explosive plays around the basket. I'm just good to see him moving around and being healthy. I remember early in his career, people were labeling him as a bust, and I thought that was unfair to him because I always say a bust is somebody that can't play. Greg Oden could always play. He was just somebody that was had unfortunate injuries, and that is totally different from a bust, and people need to know that and understand that.
The #1 overall pick, 2007. And now here is Oden on Smith again. Catches it about 15 feet now.
Nice.
Spins his way, gets to the hoop anyway.
Too much power by the big fella, and this is excellent footwork. You see him set him up to the middle. Quick spin, seals him with the elbow, keeps him right where he needs to.
6 of the Aliens' 8 have come from Greg Oden. I mean, Smith does a pretty good job of forcing him off the block that time, and yet still ends up in a bucket for the big man.
Well, Greg Oden definitely has some skill with him, and so that is a counter when somebody tries to really exert a lot of force in keeping you off your spot. Don't fight force with force. Sometimes you just spin off of it and take advantage of the situation. That's what Greg Oden's able to do.
A well-deserved rest for Greg Oden, and yeah, he has a smile on his face because that has to be fun with everything he's gone through in his basketball career. Just get out there and ball out again.
Oh man, listen, just getting out there with a chance to go hoop, that's definitely fun. As an ex-hooper myself, that's what you live for. Those moments just to get back out there, play a little bit. It just feels fun.
All right, ex-hooper, that you're saying that the sneakers are done at this point?
Oh, I'm an ex-hooper. I'm an ex-hooper for sure. I'm not trying. I like to stay in the booth where it's safe.
Well, I was gonna wait for Michael to ask you the question whether there's gonna be a comeback, but there's
no comeback around here.
Shannon
I'll
Brown
come back and call some games.
Yeah, right. Good. This is good. They were both retired Hoopers. Yeah. I think that's good. My retirement was much earlier than yours. Fine. We're not coming back. Perry Jones fires straight away. Long rebound, Shannon Brown.
Better get to that corner quick.
Arenas. Stick back, Perry Jones. Drop it. Light. It's hot. Perry Jones. Hibachi cold from the perimeter. Perry there to bail him out.
Great rebound for Perry, sticking with the play. Gilbert with the pull-up. Don't worry about Perry Jones. Got his back. Easy layup, easy work inside for Perry.
Tonight at 7 Eastern, CBS Sports Network brings you more WNBA action as the Las Vegas Aces go all in against the red-hot Washington Mystics, only on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. 6 of the first 8 for the Aliens from Greg Oden.
And Greg Oden just doing what he does, dominating inside. You see the quick offensive rebound right there. This time doesn't waste any time, shoots right over Craig Smith. And this is my favorite move. Pound him inside and then spin off him with a quick layup.
This just in, major challenge for anybody trying to defend that man, Greg Oden. So Michael Rappaport is with Royce White.
All right, Royce White, first of all, how'd you get to this game?
I flew here.
Okay, now Greg Oden, he's back on the court. Talk about what kind of a problem he is to match up against.
I mean, no problem for me. I'm built for this type of game. I'm from the 90s. So, as long as we can play physical, it's no problem. I like Greg, though. I'm glad he's back out here playing. He's a big, strong, physical player. Had a great college career.
What are you guys going to do to try to pull out this win?
Oh, we're just going to be us. They got to deal with us.
How much fun are you having playing in the Big 3,
I'm loving
Royce?
it, man. I'm loving it. I love what Cube's doing. I love being around these guys. And, I'm looking forward to finishing out the season.
And how'd you get to the game?
I flew here.
All right, guys, that's my man, Royce White.
Appreciate it, Michael. That's insightful.
Interesting that he flew here because,
right.
coming into the NBA, there was a problem with Royce and anxiety with flight. So it's interesting that he was able to fly here.
That's right. And much more coming from Royce in the coming weeks as well.
Oh, great block.
I'll just leave it at that.
Oh.
Jones with a hammer.
Wow, the double pump.
Woo! Perry Jones showing out.
Perry Jones showing the double pump jam.
Oh, big drop off. Brown foul.
Man, oh man.
Well, Royce has told you they have to deal with us.
Great block here, but then Perry Jones getting the rebound and then double pumping it basically off the drop step. That is super impressive, Carter.
Frank Robinson gets the block, and then Perry Jones. I think Perry may have been hyped for this matchup against Oden and the Aliens because he has a pep in his step.
Oh, he definitely has that. And that double pump dunk was incredibly impressive. Let's see if he can build on that with a nice post move here.
And now back in on Robert Vaden. Jones banging baseline.
Okay, Perry Jones. Don't show him everything. Woo. I mean, taking his time, the nice up and under, going right off the glass. Perry Jones putting on a show.
The former Baylor Bears sicking him in Providence, Rhode Island. Jones gets a piece of that one. Stick back goes Perry Jones, leading a charge by the enemies off the bench. It's a 9-point lead. Perry Jones, the third.
And the enemies right now, they seem to just have more energy than the Aliens. You look at all these plays, they're hustle plays, blocks, being the first ones to lose balls, the explosive dunk. So right now the enemies, they have this pep in their step, they have a chip on their shoulder, and the Aliens are going to have to meet and match their intensity if they want to get back into this game.
Timeout, Aliens. Tiny Archibald needs to talk it over because after a hot start for the Aliens, the enemies, with Perry Jones leading the way, building a 9-point lead. Jones has 6 off the bench, couple of rebounds, big block shot. So we talked about the big 3 for the enemies showing up, but now Perry Jones giving a big boost to Craig Smith, Royce White, and Gilbert Arenas, the starting three who have carried the load for the enemies. They've won 2 in a row, so an opening week loss and now back-to-back wins. More with Michael.
All right, I'm here with the man they call Agent Zero. Some call him the Hibachi. I don't know if you heard about this, but Ryan Hollins is questioning whether or not you should be called the Hibachi anymore. He said you're more of a set shooter now.
Hibachi is what I turn into. I get hot. I burn. Set shooting or not, I'm burning.
Okay. Listen, I'm not arguing with you. I'm just passing the information to you, No Chill Gil. What do you got?
Has Ryan Hollins actually gotten in the game yet? No.
No, he hasn't gotten in the game. And
He's
listen,
more like a set sitter.
all right, now, you guys are in control of this game right now. You're on a little bit of a roll. What are you going to do? You personally, Gilbert Arenas, what are you personally going to do to help close this puppy out?
I do what I do. I do what I do. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to hit shots. I'm going to talk trash at another team, make sure my team is on point.
The man is named Agent Zero, a.k.a. the Hibachi, a.k.a. No Chill Gil.
And
Fellas,
he stole the Hibachi
AKA
name from me. He stole the Hibachi name from me.
Whoa.
I don't know that anyone ever referred
He
to
stole
you
that
as the
from
Hibachi.
me. He stole it from me.
And now Gilbert and Brennan are actually having this discussion right now.
Not because I was hot, but he if you ask him, he'll tell you that he stole that nickname.
He's saying you stole the nickname Hibachi from him. I said I never heard it. I never saw him get hot like that.
No. He was saying we used to get Hibachi because we didn't play no defense. So no, he coined it. I just took it over and used it for myself.
So who owns the patent?
I do.
That's what it's all about. It's 2019.
He does. He used to get free hibachis and everything. It was ridiculous. He had a hibachi sponsorship.
So because you got burned so bad, you would go with Hibachi, and that is how Agent Zero transitioned into Hibachi?
That is how he became the Hibachi. We were actually playing, I think, against the New York Knicks. I want to say Jamal Crawford or Steph Marbury. They were absolutely flaming us. And I turned to Gil, and I'm like, man, they cooking us out there, man. They're cooking shrimp and chicken out there, man. So they got us on the Hibachi grill. And from then, every time we go to practice, when somebody got hot, we'd all start yelling Hibachi. And then Gil was like, yeah, I want to be that. And he took it to a whole nother level.
For more on the cooking-based nickname, let's check in with Michael Rappaport.
All right, I'm here with the nicest bad boy out of all the bad boys. You guys are in control right now, 19-10. What do you guys need to do to close this puppy out, Rick?
The thing is, we got to keep continually getting the hustle points. And right now, we have that advantage by blocking shots, defensively forcing them into awkward shots. So we have to set that tone and keep that same kind of momentum.
Now, you've been around professional basketball for decades. You've been with sideline reporters, great hosts, and all that stuff. Where do I rank with all the people that have interviewed? And do you still get nervous when I come over to talk to you?
You know, Michael, I'm going to be nice to you today because I'm close in proximity to my home. You might be the last one I ever think about that.
Okay. See, you know, this is the kind of questions I ask a straightforward, decent question, and then I get assaulted verbally by guys. And let me tell you something. It's not the first time it's happened with Rick Mahorn. It's not going to be the last. But just watch your back, okay? Watch your back.
Okay, watch my back. I will.
And one for Greg Oden inside. Ooh. He picks up right where he left off when he checked out of the ballgame.
I want to go back to the burn of Hibachi because he called Ryan Hollins more of a set sitter.
Yeah.
That was another example of a burn from Hibachi.
Yeah, it definitely was. And, you know, Gil has always been quick-witted, quick with the words. And Ryan Hollins had some jokes for Gilbert, but it's hard to joke somebody when you haven't checked in the game.
Jones trying to joke Oden, taking it right at him. And you heard Rick Mahorn talk about aggressive hustle plays. Well, that's not just loose balls. It's not just rebounds. That's aggressive attacking right at the big man.
And it's understanding the game. And Greg Oden is having his way inside, but Perry Jones understands that Greg Oden can't check him on the perimeter. Don't play around with him. Make an aggressive move and go right to the basket. And speaking of Ryan Hollins, he is in the game, and he definitely is going to come in here and bring some energies, if nothing else, some fouls.
He is no longer a set sitter, as Gilbert Arenas tried to hang on him. Ryan Hollins from Pasadena, California is in the game. So is Perry Jones, who was scoreless the last 2 weeks. Now we'll see if Hollins... I would love to see Gilbert sub in at some point so we can get the much anticipated...
I told you he's going to come in here with the fouls. Ryan with a quick offensive foul. I had the pleasure of playing against Ryan a lot, and Ryan is one of those guys. His fouls per minute are incredible, and it's simply because he's so hype all the time that sometimes he comes in there and his energy and his reckless abandon leads to some easy foul calls for the officials.
That's a point of analysis. I don't think his fouls per minute were incredible. I don't think if you're hanging new phrases and new nicknames, I think that's one for you, Brent. I mean,
Ryan's fouls per minute, man, legendary. The stuff legends are made of. He's one of those guys you can come in there and see like foul out in like 14 minutes.
Jones, 8 points in the game. Mentioned scoreless last 2 weeks, so Perry Jones aggressive. But now with Oden out of the game, Perry Jones going to work on Vaden. Drops it off White.
Nice pass.
Royce White, one to shoot, didn't get it off. Shot clock just 14 seconds. It goes in a hurry.
Yeah, it definitely goes in a hurry. You have to be cognizant of that. One of the few bad possessions for the enemies in this first half.
So since we're playing at 50, halftime's at 25. Vaden rattles out, boarded by Robinson. Off the screen from Royce White. White recovers.
Great pass.
Woo. And now Robinson off the bounce. Fouled. So Robinson will have one free throw to send us to halftime with 25 points.
Great pass. And it just looks like, in the first half, it just looks like the enemies are just a more cohesive unit. You see the great pass there for White. Seems like everybody's on the same page. The Aliens, they need to find a way to get some of that. They need to find a way to get some of that continuity because right now it looks like the enemies are just on another level.
Aliens had the very early lead in this game behind 6 early points from Greg Oden. He had 6 of their first 8. Oden 9 in the game. Robinson with the free throw here. Couldn't send it to half. Had a foul called underneath on the rebound off the missed free throw. That was on Royce White.
Now we got Craig Smith checking in the game.
I like how Rick didn't pull any punches as well with Michael. He said, on a good day, I'm going to tell you you're at the bottom of the list.
Yeah.
That was...
They say honesty is the best policy. Okay, let's see what Ryan has on the block.
Ryan backing in, Ryan Hollins.
Okay.
And now Gilbert has to sit down.
That's a nice move by Ryan. Took his time, pulled up over Craig Smith. Craig Smith only goes about maybe what, 6'6"?
Listed 6'7", but yeah.
He's 6'7" with some lifts in his
right. Jones can't hit the tough floater. There's Hollins with the board. Little boost here for Aliens before the half. Vaden hits the 3.
All right, now the Aliens trying to fight back into it. Quick 5-0 run.
Indianapolis played in Indiana and UAB. And now Perry Jones facing up on Holland. Left it short, gets his own rebound. Kick out, Robinson for 3. Oh, wow. Air ball, stick back goes for Smith.
Robinson will tell you that's a pass, though.
Give him the dime, right?
Yeah, Robinson's going to like that's a pass.
That was a fantastic assist getting us to halftime.
Yeah, Robinson will definitely tell you that's a pass. Either he'll tell you it's a pass or it's very windy in here. One of the two.
Great vision by Robinson to see Smith was wide open underneath the bucket. And so at the half, 25-18, let's check in with Michael.
All right, I'm standing here with Ryan Hollins. Ryan, before the game, you said that Gilbert Arenas was more of a set shooter now.
Absolutely.
Now, during the game, he said to me, this is what he said to me, now I'm just delivering this, he said you were more of a set sitter because you hadn't played. Do you have anything to say about that?
Let's finish the game and we'll see. We'll see if Gilbert guard me on the block. That's what won't happen.
Okay, now what are you guys going to do to close this puppy out? What are you going to do to close this puppy out?
I go hard every time I play. But the one thing we're not doing is playing our game. We're playing their game. When we play our game, we're going to be all right.
Do you feel confident you're going to pull this out?
Always confident, man. Always.
As a fan of basketball, everybody's happy to see Greg Oden back on the court. What does it mean to you to see him back here playing as a teammate on the Aliens?
It's a joy, man. When his injuries took him out of the NBA, it hurt everybody's heart. Whether you're a fan of basketball, you love it, you want to see this man succeed. So just seeing him to play, Cube giving him an opportunity, man, it means something to every hooper.
All right, well, good luck out there, Ryan.
Yes,
guys,
sir.
that's what we call unprecedented access. I have it. I'm the only one who has it. And that's why the Big 3 is the Big 3. And tomorrow, you know, we're back in my hometown. Is Brooklyn in the house? I say without a doubt.
Michael is definitely in the house.
Hey, Mike got to put some more sauce on that, though.
For Hollins. Well, the enemy's leading by 7 at the half.
Big 3 basketball on CBS Sports is sponsored by Toyota. Let's go places. VH1 Basketball Wives. New season. Check your local listing. And by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM.
Capital of the Ocean State, home of Inoteca Umberto, one of the terrific restaurants on Federal Hill. Halftime game 2. In this Big 3 matchup, enemies have a 7-point lead. Now, we talked about the Big 3 for the enemy. We talked about Greg Oden and the Aliens. And yet, a guy who didn't score the last 2 weeks, Brendan, Perry Jones III has been terrific for the enemies today.
Yeah, Perry Jones has been awesome, and it's been a lot that has to do with his energy. We saw him have a nice little double pump dunk early in this game, but a lot of the energy plays as far as following shots up off the glass, quick, decisive drives to the basket. This was the most impressive play of the half for me, the drop step double pump dunk. But Perry Jones, excellent footwork up and under right here. I love how he has basically injected himself into this ball game, and he's not waiting for anybody else. He's not taking a back seat to anybody else. When he goes out there, he's being decisive in what he wants to do.
Perry Jones, 8 points for enemies. Greg Oden, 9 points. He had 6 of the first 8 for Aliens, 9 in that first half. And again, we're playing to 50. Have to win by 2. Michael is with the man of the hour, Perry Jones.
All right, I'm here with Corey Jones. Listen, Barry, sorry. What are you going to do to finish this game up good?
The same thing I did the first half, just be aggressive, look for my teammates when they open, try to score otherwise.
All right, what kind of a problem is Greg Oden on the block? You guys have a great matchup going on down there.
He's strong, he's big. I just try to do my best to make him go right, man. That's it.
And talk about your coach, Rick Mahorn, one of the OG bad boys. Is he still a bad boy? Does he have any bad boy gas left in the tank, Rick Mahorn?
He's still a bad boy. He's still a dog.
All right. Good luck in the second half. All right.
Hey, Mike, I'm going to need you to know his name. I mean, you called him Corey Jones, then you called him Barry Jones. It's Perry Jones, man.
I know.
Amazingly, Michael lost his microphone at exactly that point.
Perfect time.
Gary Jones, Barry Jones,
Randy Watson.
Randy.
Give it up for Randy Watson. That's what we should have. That's what we should with next.
Randy.
You might know this young man.
I will not get into Randy's nickname, but regardless, yeah, Perry balling out in that first half. That's a man who knows how to drop the mic. Royce White, strong rush, gets the foul. Royce White, aggressive to begin the second half.
Very aggressive. And Royce has that calm but yet aggressiveness to him because he's never really too over the top, but he's always looking to impose his will down there, and then he has his chip on his shoulder.
10 assists last week for Royce White. Playing his first season in the Big 3, and he has been a big boost to the enemies.
And he's a very unique basketball player. Because you talk about the 10 assists, he has the size to go out there and dominate on the post, but he has the guard skills and the vision to be very good in the perimeter.
Oden gives it up. Here's Rush attacking on Smith, draws a foul. So bring Oden out to get the offense through him from the high post.
Yeah, and that was a great play drawn up by Tony Archibald. Nice little dribble handoff by Oden. Get Rush going downhill, and Craig Smith does a lot of things well, but I'm not sure if he can stop Rush in that type of situation.
One shot for 2. Back to a 7-point game. So you have White, Arenas, and Smith, the 3 who have propelled enemies to back-to-back wins, 2-1. Smith misses the three.
And Oden has been content to give Smith that jump shot all day long, and so far, Smith really hasn't made the pay.
Oden in tight, draws two, Smith strips it away, and then draws a foul. So Smith trying to rip it from Oden on the way up before he gets around the rim.
Yeah, Smith trying to use the quick hands when the big fella brings it in low, but Greg Oden does a great job of getting the ball again, gathering, and going right back up with power.
Oden 9 points in the game. One shot for two here. So aliens from the free throw line getting back in it. Their last four have come from the stripe to cut it to 5. White and Smith, two-man game.
Good defense by Rush.
And then Rush pokes it away.
Great defense. Great defense by Rush. Moved his feet on the perimeter, took all the bumps inside, and then was able to smack the ball out of Royce White's hands. I like the competition level.
Won an NCAA title with Kansas, 2008. Here's Oden backing in on White. Arenas comes in and draws a foul, trying to help out on D. Arenas gets a foul.
And it seems like at halftime, as you see Oden going to work right here on White, it seems like at halftime the emphasis by the aliens was get the big fella ball inside and force the enemies to stop him. They kind of went away from it in the first half, but now that they're down a little bit, I think they're going to stick with that and try to force the enemy's hand.
Andre Owens off the bounce, attacks, couldn't finish. Fight for the loose ball, won by Rush. Second chance for the aliens, launches a three. Oden on the offensive glass into the hands of Royce White. Arenas through the stands and back out onto the court. Gives it up, loose ball. Oden has it. Oden now finally boarded by Smith. Enemies reset. Smith triple. Long rebound, why not line it up again?
And Smith's going to keep shooting that three as long as Greg Oden gives it to him. Right now it's a percentage game. The percentage game is working in the aliens' favor, but that is not stopping Smith at all. He is letting it fly.
One made three in the first half for Smith. One made three in the second half for Smith. And now right back to Oden, but he can't finish again. And it is out of bounds. It'll be off Smith, aliens ball.
No, I think it's actually enemies ball.
Oh, you're right. Off Oden, enemies ball. Arenas will bring it in. Fresh 14 on the shot clock. White to Hibachi. Copywritten. There's Smith, another three.
And now he's heating up. And that's the dangerous part of the game. When you continuously give somebody three-point shots and you allow them to warm up, then they get hot and now you have a problem on your hands. Greg Oden letting Craig Smith shoot all game long, and now we're starting to catch up with the aliens.
7 threes attempted in the game for Smith. He's made 3 of them. Brandon Rush has an answer, however. Brandon Rush hits the 3 from Kansas City, 9 NBA seasons. Timeout enemies as aliens have pulled within 3. Brandon Rush leading the charge. Oden, presence in the post. Enemies trying to go to 3 and 1.
Is that
33-25, aliens trying to get to 3 and 1 on the season. Today, 5 anglers compete in the elimination round at Major League Fishing's World Championship, followed by PGA coverage of the John Deere Classic in Illinois. That's all coming up right here on CBS. Leaderboard after 2 rounds, Johnny Vegas at the top, but it is packed and tight for third round action in the John Deere Classic coming your way on CBS. Carter Blackburn, Brendan Haywood, Michael Rappaport, the well-fed Michael Rappaport.
Eating a sandwich made by his lovely wife.
And it does.
She's the real MVP.
Hey, I mean,
she's
that
the
is
real MVP.
Now, what about the level of bibbery that you have on there, Michael. That is an extreme bib.
Well, listen, I'm here with my wife. Okay, she made me a nice sandwich. You guys are jealous.
I'm very jealous.
Very.
I'm so hungry right now.
This is a one-and-done situation here, okay? Look at that puppy.
I know.
It is a very good-looking sandwich. It looks better than your stretching demonstration earlier, that's for sure.
Yeah.
See, that's a shot. I don't need that shot. I don't need to be shots at me. Pot shots at me while I'm eating.
Right. Well, just make sure that the bread doesn't inflame the wrong joints there as well. You gotta
great block
watch
by
that out
Rush.
as well. Now, meanwhile, on the basketball court, professional basketball players going at it. Maybe we should talk about that rather than Michael's sandwich.
We
what do you
definitely
think?
probably should stick to the basketball game, but every once in a while we got to have fun with Mike. But this is an excellent block right here. You see Craig Smith thinking he has a layup. Rush comes through with the nice block, and now we're seeing the aliens make some of those hustle plays that the enemies were making in the first half.
Smith kick out. Here's Jones stepping outside. Three. And it is good. Perry Jones lined that one up, eyed it, and put the hand in the bucket.
Yeah, Perry Jones, you can see he's feeling confident. We talked about him not scoring last week, but now he gets off to a very good start, gets that dunk early on, and ever since then it's been all downhill from an offensive standpoint because he's had it going. 11
in the game for Perry.
Nice drive by Andre Owens.
Yeah. Aggressive.
That's what happens. When you have a bigger guy on you, rock him to sleep real quick and then go right down the lane. Get into your move. Don't waste any time with him.
Smith on Vaden. Faces up, draws a foul. Good time out there for the enemies because aliens were starting to get a little flow.
Yeah, the aliens were definitely getting a little flow. Now the enemies look like they're trying to get back in control of it. Gilbert Arenas checking out, and got Robinson checking in the game.
One shot for 2 points here for Craig Smith, who leads all scorers in the game with 15. Jones has 11. Gilbert Arenas, 4 points in the game. But you heard him say, it's the heating up part. So he's got to be a factor.
Yeah, and you see Craig Smith, 15 points, 5 of 10 from the floor. And that's something that he's always been able to do. The fact he's always been able to be a guy that you can call an offensive play for because of the unique skill set. Yeah, he's powerful and strong, but whether we're talking about in the league or at Boston College, he's been a guy that's been able to get his shot off because he has the perimeter jumper, he has the nice game, he has the nice offensive package, and he's able to take advantage of guys that sometimes are a little bit taller than him. He uses his strength, but he wasn't able to use it there as Rush with a nice block. But might have paid the price catching an elbow to the mouth.
Yeah, swatted and then took a pop.
Oh, yeah. I think it was the shoulder right before the block.
But he gets a block regardless and apparently hangs on to the teeth. 1 second, so quick trigger. Jones off the inbound.
Look good.
Playing to 50, have to win by 2. So enemies closing in. Aliens trying to avoid 1 and 3. Owens, 1 to shoot. He hoists it. Smith clears it. Smith attacking in time. Smith.
Wow, Smith has been having all sorts of problems with Rush inside. Rush has been giving him fits. That's Rush's like 3rd block today. And what a nice dunk by Shannon Brown. Easy hops. Still super athletic.
And now with Gilbert Arenas cheering him on, Perry Jones attacking Andre Owens. Size mismatch. Owens pokes it away. Has it for the aliens. Rush, step in 3. Rims out. Tapped out. Robinson resets. Robinson threw a bump in the paint. Can't finish.
Nice drive. Excellent rebound by Shannon Brown and kicks out to Owens. Not able to capitalize, though, and they needed that one. They needed that one. Enemies only 10 points away from ending this game, so the aliens are going to have to get hot very, very quickly.
Back to Smith. Takes it in Rush, and Smith wins this battle.
Yes, Rush has been winning plenty of battles against Smith, but Smith was able to get that one. Put that shoulder right in his chest and got right to his jump hook.
Inglewood up to no good. In the post from Mr. Craig Smith. Fighting his way in, bringing the enemies within 8. After Rush won a couple of battles, this was Smith fighting his way back into it.
Well, I think you see Craig Smith made the adjustment right there through the shoulder right into Rush's chest. That took away Rush's shot blocking ability, and that's why he was able to get that shot over.
Rush been teeing it up. Craig Smith takes it to him. Smith now with 19 in the game to lead the way for the enemies, along with 5 rebounds. So Craig Smith,
quite the versatile basketball player, because you look at him, he has 12 shots today, but 8 of those shots have come from behind the three-point line. So he basically has that unique ability to bang inside, but then hit the three as well.
Let's check in with Michael.
All right, I'm here with Craig Smith. Listen, you guys are in control of this game. It started off tight, but you're 8 points away from victory. What do you guys need to do to close this puppy out?
We just need to finish it out hard. They're going to come at us defensively. I think we got like 3 team fouls, so we don't need to foul. We need to play defense, rebound, and make shots.
You got 19 points. Are you aware right now that you were actually cooking?
Yeah, I'm in the kitchen. I'm in the kitchen right now. Chef Rhino.
I like that. Good luck in the rest of this game. Close this thing out.
Thank you. Thank you.
Clearly a food motif for the enemies, from hibachi and then Michael's sandwich, and then now Craig Smith saying he's in the kitchen cooking.
He's in the kitchen and he is cooking with gas.
Burner all the way up. Rush, quick 2 out of the timeout. Off the feed from Ryan Hollins.
Yes, nice play. Quick little elbow action. Ryan Hollins with a nice pass, and Rush pays it off.
After timeout, big for the Aliens. Royce White in tight. Rush has a loose ball, and now Robinson fights to get it. Back to loose. Royce White lay in, so the enemies get that critical 50-50 ball in a bucket for White.
And it's been who the enemies have been all game long. They've been the team that's been the first to the ground. They've been the team that's a lot more aggressive. Anytime there's a loose ball out there, they've been the team that have gotten to it quicker.
Oh! Brown off the bounce on Robinson. Lost it on the way up. Enemies 6 points away from closing it out. A 3rd straight win. White on the perimeter. Royce White on Brandon Rush. Passes Jones. Still 5 to shoot. White misses the 3.
Ryan Hollins,
Desperation
nice
time.
rebound right there. And now it's time for the Aliens to turn it up. They got to start hitting some shots and getting some stops.
Brown off the screen from Hollins. Brown. White has the rebound.
White looking for an ISO. Now, last time they got this ISO situation, Rush played excellent defense. Let's see what happens this time.
White Euros in tight and gets a foul on Rush.
That was an incredible move. Got right in tight, and instead of trying to use the power game, he just went to the finesse game before the Euro step out really, really quickly. Like right here, bam, got him sealed inside, then Euro's right past him. Brandon Rush has no choice but to foul.
In that last time out, Rick Mahorn and Royce White shared a significant laugh right before he came back into the game. By the way, is Gilbert busting on somebody in the stands? Maybe you can't even say it on the mic.
I can't. I can't. I'm not messing with this.
Well, it all gone laughs. It all gone laughs. I mean, you can't say it's not fun. And how much of that? I mean, it is loose. It's competitive. But it's aggressive, but it is loose.
But that's how Gil has always been. Gil has always been unique because he can flip a switch from being very lighthearted to super focused just like that. Like he can. There's been times where he's been laughing and joking in huddles right before he goes out there and hits a game winner. So he has a very unique type of focus that most athletes don't have.
Without Arenas, enemies trying to close it out. Looked like Perry Jones and Ryan Hollins got tangled up a little bit. White Euro back cut. Jones foul on Rush. Royce White. Yo-yo, it is shakedown street for Royce White.
Ooh-wee. Nice crossover by Royce White. You see him right here. Gets Ryan Hollins leaning and rocking with it, and then he throws the excellent pass to Perry Jones, who was going to try to pay it off with a nice dunk until Rush was able to hit him with the foul.
Jones can't get the one shot for 2 points. 11 in the game for the enemies. Hollins backing in on Robinson. Foul called in the post. Looks like it is on Robinson. Getting tangled up with that sitter, Ryan Hollins, who did try to sit down in the post.
Yeah, Ryan's trying to be aggressive in the post, and you know he does have a size advantage. Now we have to see, can he take it?
Ooh, reach in on White.
And you see the frustration by the enemy's bench. They're frustrated because Ryan's really not known as a scorer. So what you have to do, force him to score the basketball. Don't foul him in there. Don't make it easy on him. Let him shoot free throws. Make him go out there and make move after move, because that's not really who he's been throughout the course of his career.
10 NBA seasons coming out of UCLA for Ryan Hollins from Pasadena. Second season in the Big 3. Enemies trying to close it out. Have to get to 50, win by 2. Shouldn't be a problem right now for the enemies. But
the enemies can't play around. You know, like they haven't had their last couple possessions. They haven't been able to take advantage, but they need to go ahead and close this game out. The last thing you want to do is give the aliens some life and give them a chance to take some hope.
Royce White has the board. He'll reset, looking for Smith on the wing. Smith, 19 in the game so far. It's Robinson, rather, on the wing, and Robinson lost it out of bounds.
Might be time to check Arenas and Smith back into the basketball game so you can just go ahead and close this thing out the right way.
Back into Jones. 11 in the game for Perry Jones. Draws to baseline with a shot clock winding down. Hollins gives it up. Brandon Rush, step in, long 2. Robinson trying to close it out. A third straight win for the enemies. Robinson, triple. Looking for a closer right now for the enemies.
Yeah, right now the enemies are playing a dangerous game.
Rush. Oh! Hollins, take that, hibachi.
And listen, and that's one thing that Ryan has always been able to do. He has a track background. That's actually what he went to UCLA for. He was on a track scholarship, and you see that he has still got that bounce in those legs. Great save. Hollins sets the screen, rolls to the basket, and the big fella's still throwing it up and throwing it down.
No sitting down for Ryan Hollins. Stick it. Big bucket for 2. Get on. Nothing said but the hammer dunk.
I like it. Ryan still, even though Ryan is no longer in the NBA, he is still very, very athletic.
High jumper Ryan Hollins. Enemies by 7 here, but the aliens are not done. Tomorrow, Brooklyn, baby, Brooklyn. No sleep till Brooklyn. We get it started 12 Eastern, Tri-State triplets. Joe Johnson lighting it up for the undefeated triplets in Three-Headed Monster versus Bivouac on CBS. And then on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports Network, it's the undefeated Killer 3, Steven Jackson, doing it again in the Big 3 against Trilogy.
Can't wait. Steven Jackson versus Joe Johnson. That's going to be interesting.
Royce White backing in, trying to take it on Hollins. White in tight and draws a foul. Getting to the free throw line and again trying to get to 50 to close it out for the win. Out of the timeout. Jones, Robinson, and Royce White on the floor for the enemies.
White pays it off with the free throw right there.
6 points, 4 rebounds, but White has been a big presence. Had the fouls early trying to defend in the post against Oden, but he's giving the enemies a boost, especially in the second half. White can't finish with a left there. Rush clears it.
Ryan Hollins' defense is very good right there. Gave White some problems.
Rush crossing over, lost it, got it back. Looking in tight. Hollins and Royce White getting tangled up. Getting physical between those two.
Listen, it's real physical in that paint in here now. Looks like both guys fouled each other. I'm not sure who you want to call that on, but definitely some contact.
Rick Mahorn points out shot clock should have been reset, and it is the 14.
White wants it back, though. White likes this matchup with Hollins.
White banging some more with Hollins. Gets a step, gets a bucket, and now enemies 1 bucket away from a third straight win.
That's incredibly tough, and you see White talking a little bit to Hollins, and you know, White has had some issues before. You know, game 1 talking a little bit to Josh Smith, and things got a little out of hand, so White has to make sure he keeps the trash talking to a minimum. You want to say a little something, but then you want to get out of their ear.
Waiting to see how this gets sorted out officiating-wise. Nate?
They might give White a tech right there because he was really in Holland's face. And that's to the point. You want to have fun and talk some trash, but you don't want to go that far. Like when you're in another man's face talking junk, sometimes the response of that other guy can be a little bit negative. So you want to stay away from that because we definitely don't want any fights out here. We want to keep this league fun and clean.
You saw Tiny Archibald come over there and say no hard feelings, and then Royce White over to Ryan Hollins saying the exact same thing. Let's check with Michael.
Listen, unprecedented access. Royce White is about that life. He's antagonistic. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He's got a lot to prove. The great Tiny Archibald, the only man to lead the NBA in assists and scoring, came over to Rick Mahorn, said, I love you, I respect you, get control of your guys. And we know Rick Mahorn is definitely about that life. The Big 3 basketball is very physical. It's very tough. And I know these guys are playing hard with a lot of pride, so let's see how this thing turns out.
So it's a double technical on Hollins and on Royce White.
And you see Hollins and White give each other the dap, let everybody know that, listen.
Offsetting point of interruption, Aliens ball, and it's still enemies 2 points away from closing out a win. A third straight, and now White draws a foul as Shannon Brown takes it right at him.
Shannon Brown, nice drive right there, didn't waste any time. Enemies only need one bucket, though. It'll be interesting to see who they go to. Probably go right back to that Royce White matchup just because he seems like a very confident scorer. Even though he doesn't have a great game going today, only 8 points. But with Arenas on the bench, with Craig Smith on the bench, he's definitely probably their best scoring option out there right now.
Royce White and Ryan Hollins.
They're going right back to him.
Yep.
Royce likes this matchup.
White on Hollins. White trying to close it out. Lost it. 3 to shoot. Robinson's going to attack in time. Hollins hits a play on. And a shot clock violation.
Oh, wow.
That's a break.
I thought Hollins got away with one right there.
That is a break for Hollins because it would have been one shot for 2 points at the end of the game for Frank Robinson. Instead, that's a play on shot clock violation. Ball back to the Aliens, and the enemy still trying to close it out. Here's Hollins in tight on White. Hollins gets a bucket.
Nice jump hook from Hollins. And you see Hollins right there imposing his will, taking his time. Very strong move and taking advantage of the size that he has on Royce White.
And no chatter between the two. So now Jones trying to close it out for the enemies. Jones attacks.
Game time.
Game winner, Perry Jones. Second. 3 straight for the enemies. Perry Jones, the third off the bench to lift the enemies. And a game winner.
Perry Jones, excellent drive. Took him to the left, got fouled, went off the glass. I was very impressed with Perry Jones. You see him right here, quick hesitation, goes behind the back. Now he goes right past Shannon Brown. Very strong take. Perry Jones, welcome back, welcome back.
13 off the bench for Perry Jones. Craig Smith leads the way with 19 for the enemies, and after an opening week loss in Season 3 of the Big 3, it's now 3 straight wins for Rick Mahorn's enemies. For Brendan Haywood, Michael Rappaport, our entire crew, I'm Carter Blackburn. Coming up next on CBS, it's Major League Fishing. And go to CBS Sports Network for continuing Big 3 coverage. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports in association with the Big 3.